Welcome everyone to our opening keynote as part of CPO Mastery Conference. We're joined today by Meng Chee, who is the Executive Vice President and Chief Product Officer of Walmart. As a Chief Product Officer, Meng is responsible for delivering outstanding customer and associate experiences for over 225 million weekly shoppers and 2.3 million associates. Prior to Walmart, Meng was a managing director and head of digital CX at JP Morgan & Chase, and before that, held various leadership roles at Samsung, Nokia, and various startups. Meng is also the recipient of 3 Global Design Awards and holds multiple patents. Meng's talk today will focus on how Walmart, the world's largest retailer, is using an omni-channel strategy to become more agile, customer and associate-centric, and ultimately helping its customers save money and live better lives while helping simplify work for its associates. We're excited about learning from his experience, and Meng, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Mo, for the kind introduction, and thank you all for having me. I feel so fortunate to speak to such a motivated, curious, and engaged group of change makers as part of the CPO Mastery Conference. As Mo mentioned, my name is Meng Chee. I have the honor of being the first Chief Product Officer at what I believe is the world's greatest company, Walmart. My team has responsibility for all the products, platforms, and services that serve 275 million weekly customers and 2.3 million associates across our 4,700 US-based stores, Walmart.com, and the Walmart apps. Now, you may be wondering what role product plays at a retail company outside of the obvious. I can tell you that product management at Walmart is far greater than the sum of its parts. It hasn't always been this way, but the fast-paced advancements in today's technology, combined with rising customer expectations, is pushing all companies, including ours, to continuously evolve to keep pace. With that in mind, I'd like to share with you today a bit more about our journey and how product management is becoming Walmart's force multiplier. In 2019, we began making many internal changes to our structure to reflect how we wanted our customers to experience Walmart. This meant one US CEO to oversee stores and online, one Chief Customer Officer to oversee an integrated customer experience, one merchandising team to manage online and in-store merchandise, and so on. So when I joined Walmart at the beginning of 2020, the product teams were still scattered throughout the organization and typically reported up through their respective teams. For example, the baby registry team reported up through the e-commerce division, whereas the associate product team reported up through operations. The challenge with this siloed product structure was that roadmaps were determined based on the strategic needs of the vertical, not the needs of the customer experience, nor the needs of the US business in its entirety. So internally, this way of working prevented us from moving with speed and resulted in half-built products, and most critically, a broken customer experience and a very complex work environment for our associates. So earlier last year, we took another step in our omni-channel journey by creating one product organization to oversee all product platforms and services for our customers, sellers, and associates. But as all product managers know, when you solve one problem, you create new ones. So when we centralized our product teams, we found another area of opportunity. It's said that one can see the priorities of a company by looking at who reports to the CEO. We learned quickly that if product's allegiance is to customers, sellers, and associates all, the sensible reporting structure for product is to the CEO. Today, product reports directly to the CEO and plays an integral part in defining, prioritizing, and executing the company's omni-channel strategy. At the corporate strategy level, product governs intake, prioritizes requirements based on strategic and financial criteria, and manages roadmaps and backlogs to deliver the most effective products for all of the different types of end users. Having this level of backing and trust from Walmart's leadership is rewarding, and the work is massively complex, which also makes it thrilling. I tell you this to share my first key takeaway. For those of you who work at companies who may be on similar journeys, and that is organizational structure begets user experiences. Companies must get their internal structure right if they want to effectively deliver products for their end users. Earlier, I mentioned that product management at Walmart is far greater than the sum of its parts. So now I'd like to share about how we operate an enterprise product management function within an organization that is as big and complex as Walmart. I think one of the most appealing propositions that brings product managers to Walmart is the opportunity to work on products that span the largest industries, including retail, healthcare, financial services, advertising, and more. And we do this at an unparalleled size and scale, but truly at the pace needed of a startup. The challenge with this, however, is that product development isn't one and done. All our products are linked to one another, and the product team is responsible for connecting these dots. We've done a lot of work over the last year and a half to evolve the way we work within Walmart, not just as a product function, but as an entire company where we're all working together to solve customer and associate problems. I liken our architecture to that of a watch. On the exterior, you're presented with an experience that offers its users a well-choreographed performance of seconds, minutes, and hours. It's dependable, it's reliable. On the inside, its operation is constructed in a way that will bring its display to life and is orchestrated by many intricate interconnected pieces of hardware and software working together in unison. And of course, every watch is backed with an underlying casing that serves as a foundation. This is exactly how you can envision architecture at Walmart. Let's take a closer look. Like the exterior of a watch, we have our experiences. These experiences are defined as the end-to-end journeys for customers, sellers, and associates to engage with Walmart for all their needs. Like a watch has multiple displays, we have multiple experiences. Accountability for each experience belongs to a business leader. Shopping in store, for example, is an experience. Like the interior of a watch has its hardware and software, we have our capabilities. Capabilities are the building blocks that work together in unison to bring an experience to life. Checkout, for example, is a capability that's not only used in the in-store shopping experience, but also the e-commerce experience. Finally, just as the watch needs its backing, we do too. This is where the technical stacks or systems come into play. Store systems, for example, is one tech stack that powers checkout throughout the organization. So why am I telling you this? Because this is the framework for how we give clear accountability and direction for how Walmart delivers on our customer, seller, and associate needs. I'll use auto care centers to illustrate. Walmart operates 2,580 auto care centers across all of our supercenters. These auto care centers conduct standard services, including oil change, tire repair, and so on. With a goal of making Walmart's auto care centers our top choice for car maintenance, we needed to solve a series of problems that span multiple experiences, including the in-store, online, as well as the associate and the merchant experience. We began by narrowing our focus to the tire buying process. In a search and discovery phase, we found that online, it was difficult for customers to identify the right tires that fit their car. And in-store, long wait times due to outdated hardware led the perception that our associates weren't as knowledgeable as they are. As it relates to purchase and install, customers typically avoided purchasing tires online because they needed to also schedule time to install them. This is a huge barrier to online tire buying. And if they did decide to buy online and call the store to get them installed, they wanted an easier way to track updates in real time so they could do other things. Finally, given the unpredictable nature of tires and roads, we needed a way for customers to be known at any Walmart store. So if a customer has a flat while on a road trip, they can pop in at any Walmart Auto Care Center and the technician will have their service history readily available, knowing what they need and their car. To solve search and discovery online, we created a new fitment widget that allows the user to enter the year, make, model of their car and be presented with tires that fit their vehicle. For customers who want the expertise of an auto care technician from the comfort of their home, we created a guided tire buying process. Here, a real virtual Walmart associate, Scott, guides the customer through the relevant questions to ask when buying new tires, all online. To solve search and discovery in stores, we created a new tire find application that uses the same exact fitment technology, so store associates can quickly enter the customer's information and see what's available right there in store for them. For purchase and installation, we created an online feature at checkout that allows the customers to schedule time to get their tires installed at their local auto care center and to give them real-time updates as their tires are being installed. We launched Service Tracker in the Walmart app, giving text message updates as well. Finally, to be sure we remember the customer the next time they visit any Walmart auto care center, we added a single view of the customer across all of our auto care centers within our associate app. This meant migrating more than 140 million customers to the cloud. And to put that into context, that's almost the population of Russia. At launch, we saw 40% click to buy on our guided tire finder experience. We saw a 4-time increase in installation appointments. For text opt-in updates, we saw a 60% adoption rate. And most importantly, we were hearing great feedback from our customers, as well as the associates who serve them. I share this example to show the many different experiences, capabilities, and tech stacks that come together to bring this to life. This isn't how every organization should operate, but we're finding that this is what works best for Walmart. My second key takeaway is this: clear accountability and collaboration is paramount. Collaboration is key when you have products that span multiple verticals, but you must take the time to outline who has accountability for what. To do this, create and iterate an architecture that works best for your organization. And when you roll it out, do so with the mindset that you'll identify additional opportunities along the way and continue to mature and evolve that architecture over time. Albert Einstein once said, "The world as we have created it is the process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking." I've never experienced a time in my life where the acceleration of thinking was at an all-time high more than during this pandemic. To say it has pushed us to innovate and change our thinking is a big understatement. What it did for us was quickly validate the need for our 4-in-the-box operating model. This model gathers representation from product, design, technology, and the business, and is the model we use to deliver product experience and capabilities. Product owns the vision, problem statements, solutioning, and road mapping. Design represents the needs of the users, including the unmet needs identified. Tech owns the execution, technical architecture, and implementation and testing that the business manages the experience. Together, we collaborate in partnership of the problems that need solving. Having this operating model in place is what enabled us to move with speed as we've launched a series of products throughout the pandemic. For example, early in the pandemic, before vaccines were made available, we conducted hundreds of drone deliveries of COVID-19 self-collection test kits in areas that were hit hardest. More recently, we've built experiences to support COVID vaccination efforts. When vaccines were beginning to be made available, the execution of this rollout was really challenging. Every state had different eligibility requirements. Vaccine inventory was unpredictable. Vials needed to be used within hours, and our pharmacists needed to manage the increase in vaccine volume while also managing their critical day jobs. For our teams, it wasn't just a matter of designing an online scheduling tool. It was a matter of designing a trustworthy, agile, scalable, and most importantly, HIPAA compliant experience that connected our customers to the most recent updates in their communities and made vaccine distribution manageable for our pharmacists. We began with an online COVID hub that housed all information about COVID, from testing locations to all new vaccine scheduler that was built within a matter of weeks. The scheduler was customized to each store based on vaccination eligibility requirements in your community. It changed constantly to keep up as new requirements were announced state by state. Additionally, vaccine schedule management evolved for our pharmacists. We created a new tool that gave them visibility and editing capabilities to the scheduler for patients. This allowed our pharmacists to manage all incoming vaccinations and schedule the second doses, which were critical. On top of this, many of our stores are in areas that are designated as medically underserved areas by our health resources and service location, you can see. We created a series of community events to administer the COVID-19 vaccine to drive higher vaccination rates in vulnerable communities and conducted community vaccine events in 43 locations across 18 states. Today, we have nearly 5,000 Walmart and Sam's Club locations administering the vaccine, and we've given millions of vaccines. In addition to managing the distribution of vaccines, we've also heard from customers of their concern carrying a paper vaccination card. In response, we've launched a digital vaccine record available in the Walmart pharmacy account. The vaccine record is a free digital version of the vaccine cards issued by the CDC, so people no longer have to worry about losing their paper copy. Launching in the future will be additional functionality that will allow families to bundle their records and access records for those under the age of 18. Typically, rolling out a program of this level of complexity would have taken months of meticulous planning, but we didn't have the time, and it showed us that with the right operating model in place, we could release minimum viable products that matter at scale and speed and continue to enhance appropriately over time. My final key takeaway is then this: design an operating model that empowers your teams to execute with speed. Product managers gravitate towards friction. We're problem solvers. And for many of us, the more complex the problem, the more important the problem, the greater our thrill and satisfaction. As product leaders, it's our responsibility to design an environment that lets product managers do what we do best. Today, we talked about 3 ways that Walmart is doing that. We're constantly evaluating and evolving our organizational structure. When we uncover new problems that need solving, we're clearly outlining who is accountable and collaborating as a team to solve. And finally, we've designed and are continuing to evolve our operating model in a way that works best within a complexity of a large and purpose-driven company. Speaking of purpose-driven, I want to leave you all today with one final note. Product innovations at Walmart truly are purpose-driven. Every day, our products are put to work in store and online and allow the product managers to see their efforts in action and how they positively impact customers and associates, especially across many different types of essential life needs. When you think about Walmart's size and scale and the areas of opportunity that make a difference in the lives of many others, whether it be through retail, health, wellness, financial services, or more, the opportunities are really endless. I found myself working harder than ever, but it's the most rewarding work I've ever done throughout my career because I see our work impact the people around me in the communities every day, and I'm really proud of it. If you're interested in joining our team, we are actively hiring. Feel free to email me directly with your resume if you're interested. We'd love to hear from you. And with that, thank you very much for listening and your time. Back to you, Mo.
Thank you very much, Meng, for doing this insightful talk for us today. It's been fascinating to get a peek into how product management is done at the world's largest retailer. I'd also like to thank our global audience who've tuned in from around the world. Folks, please take the opportunity to give Meng a big virtual round of applause. And we'll be back for additional talks, so don't go anywhere.